It's interesting.
But the other big thing in the work that we were doing, and we sorted this out, I wouldn't say quickly, but it took a while, is we had to figure out what the sea levels were at 3,000 years ago, and they're not the same as they are today. So 3,000 years ago, sea levels were actually higher than they are today, about 1.2 to 1.4 meters. So that was one of the first things. So I got a number of really great scholars involved in this work. And one of them was a geoscientist or geologist, Bill Dickinson, who in his own right was he'd won every major geological award in the U.S. He was the chair of the geoscientists for the National Academy of Sciences in the U.S. He was the chair of the Geological Society of America, the GSA. He published over 300 papers. And he got interested, strangely enough, in doing way back, and he was mapping mountains in Fiji, and he hooked up with this fellow that I was mentioning, Richard Schuttler. He ran into Richard Schuttler, and they came up with this idea to look at ceramics. And what Bill would do is he'd take thin sections of the ceramics, and he'd do what we call petrography. So he'd take a microscope, and he'd do these thin section slides, and he'd look at the minerals that are in there, and then he'd characterize the minerals to try and figure out where the pottery came from, whether it was local or whether it came from somewhere else. And so he got involved with our project because he was really interested in what we were doing, and he was the guy that sorted out all the sea levels.